What's going on, guys? Chad back with you here on the channel, and we're going to be taking a look here at Simplify 3D 4.0. And I know I'm kind of skipping ahead maybe for some of you people that don't have Simplify or are kind of new and are following my progress on the channel, but this is something that I've been just kind of researching on, and I found a couple workarounds. Problem is trying to print a mask and making the mask the correct size for my big head. Now, Uncle Jesse over at YouTube has a video that's about a year old, shows using an application called Uncle Jesse's using actually NetFab, which is available for a free trial. Then I guess you get the basic version for free after that. And I was kind of messing around with that, and I downloaded Mesh Mixer, and because some people recommended that on some Facebook groups, but I haven't got the time right now to start looking around at how to actually do what I want to do. And the whole thing that I want to do is I want to just print like a section of this mask for this Batman mask, which fits the profile here perfect because I'm able to lay it down on its side. And I wanted to see if I could do this in Simplify 3D, and I actually can with this mask, and with a lot of different masks you probably could, and I'll show you how you can actually do it. If you go in to the prepare to print after we already have this laying on the bed, so if we go ahead and slice this, well, I've got my second example here pulled up, but this is where this is a problem where it actually won't work. So let me go back into the process settings, and under advanced there is these layer modification settings here where you can tell it to start printing at a certain height and stop printing at a certain height. As you saw from that right there, it was suspended in mid-air, so I haven't been able to figure out how to start at anything except for 0 and get it to drop down to the build plate. So that's why all of that space was missing, and it was just kind of floating in mid-air. But if we go ahead and change this to 0 here, and let's say we want to stop printing at 25 millimeters just to cover maybe a little bit of that nose and the top of our head to see if it'll fit, you can see now that it's set up and it is only going to print up to 25 millimeters on the Z-axis. So that is pretty cool. So I guess if you can orient your mask somehow, you know, these all come in multiple parts, not all of them are single parts. If you can find a part that is a good kind of profile like this right here, which is going to cover the back of my head and up to my nose, probably needed to actually go up a little bit higher so I could have captured more of the eye. Right, I'm trying to show you right in there, but that's just an example. So if we go back into the process settings again and go back to where we were, let's say I wanted to cover a section, say up here, from the maybe a middle to the top of the eyeball, and then let's say that that starts at 60 millimeters. So if I typed in 60 millimeters and we want to stop printing at, oh, I'm not sure, we just click the button there so it'll print all the way out, and click OK. Now when we go into the slicer, and prepare it to print, you can see once again it's suspended in midair. And maybe somebody knows how to do this, but none of these commands up here work in the slicer. If I try to place it on the bed, nothing like that is working at all. Drop to table, all of that stuff works inside the other side of Simplify 3D and not in the slicer. So at least I figured out a way to do this temporarily, and I've already printed off a couple prints, and I'm kind of scaling them up to get the appropriate size for my head. And if you have multiple pieces, you can pretty much do this with all of them. You know, if you have a 5-piece mask, you can just do whatever you want to any piece that you wanted to. Print out just 10 or 15 millimeters and see how it fits. I know in his video he did maybe like some 3 or 4 millimeter, maybe even 5 millimeter sections, but he did them from like different parts and slices of the model. And that's kind of like the thing that I'm looking for, because that way I could make adjustments a lot faster, I believe, because he had like all of them laid down on the bed here, which was pretty cool. So that way you could do more than one at one time. I mean, I guess I have multiple printers, so I could throw one on one and one on the other. But anyway, guys, that's just a look at Simplify 3D and how you can actually do this. I've never made a mask or anything before, and I really want to. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a Batman mask. So I've got my 3rd revision strip printing down there now, and this one should be too big, which too big should be okay because we can always foam line it and everything else like that. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. We will see you on the next one.